Hello, hello, hello. Joseph here. It is my 4:13 p.m. and I thought I'd do some online work. Recording for the secret project, which is becoming less of a secret every time I do it live. But feel free to let me know you're there, say hello, have any questions, I'll do my best. So, for the secret project, I am in the process of rebuilding from the ground up my app. And it's going to look a bit like this. So, we have like recently featured audios or popular ones, the free section, the hypnosis library, which will then have categories. The usual custom, long sleep, which will have categories as well, like say emotional well-being, physical, career and learning, the create your days, the audio programs. And these two new sections, hypnotic meditation and meditations and reflections. If you hadn't noticed, I've been doing hypnotic meditations for the last, covertly but overtly, on the podcast, and I'm putting them all in their own little section. So they're like 20 minutes long on different subjects, but a little bit more journey-ish. So I've been doing them out there overtly with the covert reason, so I have them in their own little section. But today we're working on reflections. I made that too big to do anything with. Reflections, which is going to be bite-sized audios, which you can just kind of digest whenever you want. They'll only be like 5-10 minutes max, maybe 12 at the very most. And I record them live. Well, I did the weekend. So I might be here for, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. On Sunday I was here for about an hour and a half. So I'll be recording these little mini segments, and I've got on my list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which I won't be able to do all 8 because I'll be here for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I need a little break in between. And that little break can be when you can chat, ask me a question, or you can just be a larker in the background. I don't mind. So which one should we do first? I got one on compound interest of transforming your life, Stoicism for diminishing anxiety, a little bit about failure, then about purpose, which I've done already, but it's going to be a different take, like an analogy. We've got how to stop self-sabotage, moving pictures in your mind, and belief is the enemy of knowing. And another 1 or 2, I think. But how's your day going? Oh, I'll tell you something real quick. Real quick. For the 3 people out there. Because I didn't let anyone know I was going live, it's just random. We get a few more sometimes. But I did a really good workout today. I'm just getting into fitness. I've lost about 16 pounds. And I was doing, my goodness, I can't even word for it. But they're just like body weight pull-ups. So we do 1, then I'll do a bench press, then I'll do 2 body weight back to back, then 3 back to back, 4 back to back, 5 back to back, then 6 and 7. And I managed to do 8 body weight pull-ups with no assistance at all, and hanging. And that's my personal best. So I'm quite happy about that today. Whilst in between those sets, bench pressing, it's not going to sound crazy amount, but we did 10 sets of 115 pounds. But the week before that, I managed to do 165 pounds, 5 pounds over my body weight. So I think I'm making improvements. So that's my celebration. Missed a button. But with that, let's get to it. What one do I feel like doing first? Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna have a bit of silence on the mic, and then I know how to edit it afterwards. Hey, my friend Joseph here. In this reflection, we're going to be talking about purpose and how we can actually think of purpose and how we really neglect or don't see a bigger picture when it comes to our purpose. We tend to limit ourselves. And I want you to have an analogy in mind. If we were to have an acorn, what would be the purpose of an acorn? And just consider that in your mind. What is the purpose of an acorn? Now, for some of us, we might go, well, when an acorn falls, it's going to be food for the squirrel, for example. So there could be a level of purpose there, like to feed the ecosystem. And that could be just one level of how we see it. But is there something more? What else could it be? Well, maybe it could grow into an oak tree. That's a slightly bigger purpose, maybe. Because what happens then, it's going to create more acorns, which will fall. So then you could go, actually, maybe the bigger purpose of that acorn is to grow many acorns and feed, or more oak trees, which will give more of the acorns, which will feed more of the ecosystem. So it just keeps on growing. And you might think, wow, that is a great purpose. But there are other purposes. Well, maybe about warmth. Maybe we're using wood to create fires, which will allow us to keep warm. And now you may be thinking, okay, now we're going a little bit out there. So what else could be the purpose of an acorn? Like, not just in the beginning stages, not even growing into an oak tree, but now we're starting about another utilization. Well, maybe books, maybe the furniture, maybe houses, like where I am in California. They may not be built out of oak, but as an example, I was really shocked that houses were built with wood. Very different from England. So now we're really thinking in a whole different level when we think, what is the purpose of an acorn? There are so many, but we can go deeper and deeper and deeper into what a purpose may be. So the analogy there is to think outside of the box of your own purpose. You may not see the real big picture. You might not understand it yet. It might unfold down the line. For me, purpose-wise, when I got into doing what I was doing, I wasn't thinking about it. I just want to let go of my own issue. That was the purpose. But then along the way, I then decided to be able to show others how to do it. And then I created a podcast and a YouTube and an app. And then my main program and trainings and seminars. Like, I would not have foresaw that level of purpose in my life. But it started with the initial idea. But if I did take a moment, which I didn't, I may have been able to foresaw more of my future and made it quicker. So my goal for you with this reflection is to think of something bigger when it comes to yourself, when it comes to your purpose and the things that you do. Because you never know the effects that it's helping in unknown ways. By you developing yourself, you might go, yeah, that is amazing. But what's the purpose of that? Well, it could be more money, it could be a better career, it could be a better relationship. But then the very nature of you transforming may inspire other people because you're doing good in the world. Even if you're just being nicer, you are cheering up people. And where does that go to? Does it go to other people? Because now you're leaving them in a better place and then they're going to meet other people. So always try to imagine and consider a greater picture, because you don't always see the very beginnings. You might be a little bit short-sighted, but if we go on that journey of just considering a greater purpose, you may be surprised of all the things you can achieve. So with that, I'll leave that for you to reflect on, and I'll look forward to speaking to you in a future reflection. Many thanks, and goodbye. Okay, that was one down, trying to get our mind into a different way of thinking. So that's nice. Just these small little audios, which you'll get on the app, and they'll just hopefully provoke ideas, or at least get your head in the game of transformation. Okay, what about the stoicism with anxiety? A stoicism, I've got to always make sure how to pronounce it. To be stoic? Stoicism. Oh my goodness. Maybe we'll stick to stoic. Or maybe we'll just embrace what happens when I actually record it. Yeah, I think we'll do that one. And then we'll talk about self-sabotage. So I see there's 6 people watching on the YouTube. Leave a message. Don't make me work lonely on my lonesome. Say hi. And if you didn't know, I go live on Mondays and Fridays. So I did a power talk on Monday. It's always at 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. East Coast, 11 p.m. in the United Kingdom on Mondays and Fridays. Mondays this time was a power talk about showing up. And then on Friday, I'm doing a hypnotic meditation. Hey Judith, great to have you here. Yeah, I was live on Saturday and Sunday for about an hour and a half, just walking and recording, and in between saying hello to people. But great to see you here. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing wonderful. So yeah, I'm going to do this pretty much between everyone, but I'm creating, there's going to be a new version of the app, different sections. We've got the hypnotic meditation is going to be new, and then reflections is what I'm recording right now. The secret project, which is not so secret for those on the live. Little 5-10 minute audios on different subjects. So far the weekend I did the Sum of 5 people. Also root cause, focusing on what you want because it wants you to, responsibility, reasons, excuses, find your purpose, keys to success, other people's opinions are not your business, big goals are daunting, rich life 5 steps, to maybe not look for excellence but just suck less. Different reframe there. The axis of doing and being, finding your why, protecting your dream, the starfish analogy, which I love, or metaphor I should say. Also did pre-teaching your unconscious mind, and anxiety is your friend. So we've done quite a lot, and I just did the purpose of an acorn. Or what is the purpose? So what one did I say I was going to do? Okay. Stoicism. Let's go for that. got to be silent just for editing purposes on post-production. So I'll start in 20-30 seconds. Hey, my friend Joseph here, and in this reflection, we're trying to have a stoic mind in order to diminish your anxieties, worries, and doubts. Now, when you think of anxiety, worries, and doubts, is focusing on all that you do not want to happen. And that's not very good, because you probably notice it becomes a vicious cycle. You even get anxious about being anxious. And then you start to think of all the things which could go wrong. And it then starts on a neurological level to give this feeling of anxiety, fear, worry, and doubt. And it has an effect on your health, your relationships, your career, your sleep, literally every area of your life. And in today's world, we have more anxiety or in a different level of anxiety, because obviously we had survival anxiety way back, and we're living in a safer world, but then we've got all this technology our brains are trying to catch up to in terms of information overload, comparisons, different opinions. It's hard to really decipher what's real in terms of what affects you. But anyway, I digress. We know that anxiety is not something that we would like to experience. So how can we start to diminish it? By being stoic. Now, Stoicism is really about, in this context, I mean, there's different ways of explaining it, but it's about being more at peace. So how can we include this? Well, if anxiety is really happening at an unconscious level, what if we started to become consciously aware of the things that we're anxious about? So imagine if you were starting to feel anxiety and you then just took a moment to either think about it, but even more importantly, to write down the things you're anxious about. Number one, when you write it down specifically, you're getting it outside of your mind. Otherwise, it's kind of just staying in there, jumping around. But when you get it out on paper, a weird thing happens within your unconscious. It's almost like you're filing it for a moment. You've understood it. You've kind of got the message from your unconscious mind that you're anxious about this, so you don't have to ruminate on it and actually get worse because of it. But then, as you consider all that could go wrong, even extra things, you'll start to almost understand them in not being really possible. You see, the worst case that we had in our mind is not really the worst case, and the worst case is likely to never really happen in reality. So as you look over the things that you've written down that you're anxious about, you can start to reflect upon them and go, is this really real? Is there something I can do to mitigate this? Something I can do now to avoid it, to be at peace with it? And as you start to get into that stoic mind of being at peace with the outcome, the very unlikely outcome, the power of the anxiety over you starts to diminish. So we're really getting this deep unconscious anxiety, bringing it up to the surface, getting it out on paper ideally, and then really starting to have a perspective of being stoic about it, being at peace should it happen. Is it really gonna do anything really bad to us? Is it really the worst case? And you're almost reframing the situations in your mind. And now the beautiful thing about doing this, by the way, in the beginning it can be quite hard. But if you do this consistently, maybe you do it 10 times, whenever happens, immediately you start to just get it out on paper. You are pre-teaching the unconscious mind to be stoic about this, almost as if whenever I have an anxious thought, my unconscious mind, because it's done it so many times at a conscious level, is going to do it upon your behalf. which will greatly diminish your anxiety. It's not to say that those things won't happen, because life is life. But the more we understand and reflect upon it, become at peace with it, consider alternatives, reflect upon it, and be more welcoming of, yeah, it could happen, but it's not the worst case. It's not going to kill me. It's not going to define my whole purpose in life. It really reframes your connection with it, and therefore your unconscious mind will start to do it on your behalf, automatically and quickly. It just needs to know how, and that is what you'll be doing. So consider this when you have anxiety. Become more stoic in the nature of living life, to be at peace as much as possible, not with just all that is good, but in the potentialities of bad. And you'll notice you'll be able to navigate those stormy oceans so much easier in a comfortable way than you ever have before. So I look forward to speaking to you on a future reflection. Many thanks and goodbye. Okay, that was number 2 down. Being more stoic in nature. So we've done 2. If you just got here, I am working on a secret project, not making it that secret on this live stream. These are small 5-10 minute subjects which will be going onto the app, where you can just tap in, get a bit of reflect on your life, get a bit of motivation, hints and tips to be able to control your unconscious mind and to live the life you want. It's going to be in the app, just like this. Reflections. You see the reflections? Look at that. We did one about acorn, and I'm going to pretend that's an acorn tree. Acorn tree, oak tree. But they're going to go right in that little section there. And also a new section called Hypnotic Meditations, the overtly, covertly operation I've been running the last 6-9 months, maybe a year, of recording lots of hypnotic meditations on the live stream. Then in between, whenever I can find time with my working day, because the app and the YouTube is something that I want to keep on doing, but it's not my business. My own business is more on the coaching side of working with individuals and people like that. But the app is something I like to contribute and invest into. So that's been my secret project. I've actually got almost the final app version from my app developers, and I foresee it being out in maybe 2 weeks or less. So between now and then, I want to create lots of these because I am going away very soon to England to see my family. And if the app's going to be live, I want to make sure I've preloaded some content, which I have, but also have them good to go. Hey Cheryl, great to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey Hans, great to see you here as well. That's all good. No problems at all. I hope you're well and I haven't seen for a while, but you're usually like traveling around, seeing cool things. So yeah, there's just a random stream. There's not on my schedule at all, but I was working out this morning, then I was working, and then I was like, well, I need to get some of these done, so I'm going to push back some of my other work and get onto this. Well, the app development has been taking about 3 months. It's been in the probably 2 months, probably 3 months though. But hopefully within 2 weeks we've completed it, because it's come a long way. Yeah, great to have you here. So I'm just doing these little mini audio recordings. I've actually had time, created time, that's what I like to say, create time, and edited all the other ones. So far, I can look in my folder here. I would be doing these so much quicker if I wasn't going live when I think about these things. Because I like to chat in between. Where it's a bit hard to chat with yourself when you're at work by yourself. So we've got edited. We've got a gig of them. Wow, we got no. We got 41 meditations going in there. But we've got one, that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and I've just recorded 2 as well. So that's 21. 21 we've recorded. Hey Mina, great to have you here. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Good gains today. I was very, very impressed. Impressed? That's a new word. It's like blessed and impressed are the same word. I was very impressed of my development. Because they're pretty hard to do. So, should we get on to another one? Feel free to ask questions if you have any burning questions. What am I to record next? So this next one, I think, is going to be very close to the Stoicism one around anxiety. But this is going to be about stopping self-sabotage, but it has the same premise. Has the same kind of idea that I think is going to be cool. So how to stop self-sabotage. So with that, I'm going to be silent for around 10-20 seconds, so it's easier for the post edit, where I was trying to figure out where I was speaking to the chat and when I was actually doing the work. So we'll do that now. Hey, my friend Joseph here, and in today's reflection, we're going to be talking about your goals and dreams and self-sabotage. Because self-sabotage is something that we tend to do when it comes to our goals and dreams, and it can have many different reasons, like the fear of failure, so it's easier to play small, to not go out there in case you might look silly or what people may think if you achieve those goals and dreams. But there's also this secret thing that the unconscious mind does on your behalf to self-sabotage your goals and dreams. Now, when I say on your behalf, it has a positive intention. That's why I say that. So how can we begin to let go of self-sabotage? Because really it is for the intention of protection. So let's say, to paint a real good picture in your mind, so you can really relate to it, let's say you or someone else had the goal or dream of being an actor or actress. So like to be in the movies. Now, you might say that's your passion, that's your purpose. So that's really good. You're like, you're going, yeah, I really want this goal, but for whatever reason, things aren't working out. Well, with every goal and outcome, there's always going to be a downside. And if your unconscious mind is focusing on the downside, it's going to self-sabotage you. So let's take this analogy and then we can broaden it out to other ones, but you'll be able to really make sense of it in this analogy because it's very overt in its nature. Ask yourself, what are the downsides of being, say, an actor or actress in popular movies? Like, you can may think of like Brad Pitt, or I'm not very good with all the names, but yeah, whoever you may choose in your mind. What would be a downside of becoming an actor or actress? Well, you're going to be in the limelight. It's the very nature. You got to promote things. You're on the big screen. You're getting paid money. You're going to have paparazzi follow you. That's not a very good experience, is it? So in other words, your privacy is being invaded when you achieve that goal. Now, maybe another one could be, that's like a downside in other words. So invasion of privacy and freedom. Another one could be, if you receive money, could you attract people who are after that money? And on the same notion, is your family gonna change? Maybe they'll be wanting money. Maybe it can break up the family dynamics. We know money is probably one of the biggest disruptors to family. Like, if someone passes, there can be all these squabbles between like the siblings of who gets what, and it can end family relations. So becoming that popular, you may attract people into your life who are trying to get money, or it may disrupt your present family life. Maybe this attention creates insecurity in your relationship. Maybe if you were to be with another actress or actor, maybe there's like potential worries, not to say it's all true by the way, but these are things your unconscious mind will be thinking beneath the surface of. Maybe there'll be competition. Will I be relevant? Will there be all these pressures? Do I have to speak about political things? Even if I don't believe in them, but I've got to appear a certain way. Do I have to look a certain way consistently and like try to abide by all the social body image and all those things? Do I have to do things I don't want to do? Even to the point of making more money means I've got to pay more tax. Logically, it makes sense if you think about it. It's okay. But unconsciously, when we think of money and losing money because of it, it creates anxiety, worry, and self-sabotage. So, as you can see, there's been many more of these, by the way, in that example of becoming an actor or actress, in being a popular one. But with every goal and outcome, you have these downsides, which create or you're unconscious, and it generates fear, worries, and anxieties. So therefore it will self-sabotage you. So how then, because we still want the goal, we still want to become the actor or actress, so how do we start to dissolve this? Because we don't want that resistance unconsciously. We want congruency and alignment, 100% going toward it. We don't want this weight pulling us back at every turn for these unconscious fears. So here's what you do. You do two things. Number one, well, we're kind of three things. Number one, you get out on paper all the downsides to the goal that you're having, every single one of them. And then, number two, you either, so there's like 2 and 3, you either become at peace with them. You're telling your unconscious mind, look, I'm okay that I'm going to pay more taxes. I'm okay that this is going to happen because the bigger goal is worth it still. So you're telling your unconscious mind you're at peace with this negative, knowing the greater big thing you want from the goal is so much more. And that gives your unconscious mind reassurance. As you're saying, look, it's going to be okay. Even though I lose this, I'm going to gain all this. And you can list out all the gains that you want to convince your unconscious. The nature of writing it all out is the convincer to your unconscious. But then the second part is, you can start to come up with a plan to mitigate the issues which could come up. So for example, if it was about the paparazzi, how can you start to come up with a plan to be able to have privacy? What can you do to try to slow it down or to solve it? How can you mitigate this issue should it arise in the future? So with relationships, you could go, look, they might get a lot of attention, but always know how important you are to me, and let's lift each other up. So you build this all in before you've achieved the goal. And that means, number one, knowing all the downsides. Number two, being at peace with them. if you cannot solve them, and number 3, trying to solve them before they actually happen, and that will resolve your self-sabotage to your goals and dreams. And it's the same thing for everything. So just think of your goal and dream, because we did it as a big example with the movie star. Put it into your example and come up with all the negatives, all the downsides, be at peace or mitigate them. That's going to be the signal to your unconscious mind that you've taken attention to this, so it doesn't have to do it on your behalf. Like I said in the beginning, it's trying to protect you. So let's protect it by getting it to understand, even though there are downsides, we've got a plan, or we're at peace with them, because the greater goal is worth it. So with that, I look forward to speaking to you in a future reflection, and of course within the app there is the self-sabotage, day-night hypnosis, which will really convince the unconscious mind. So go ahead and check those out, and it'll quicken the process. I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks, and goodbye. And that was number 3 down. Stopping self-sabotage. That's a really good one. You should apply that in your life. If you have a goal and dream. For example, because these are going to be short, but another example in relationships would be things like, oh, if I lose weight, say like you're with someone and say you're both maybe not in shape, but you make the decision to get in shape, it could create insecurities. It could mean that you got to buy new clothes, so that's an expense. So there's going to be these downsides to any goal that you have. Any goal. Like losing weight, great, but now I've got to buy stuff. Now I've got to convince my girlfriend that she's still the one, and all those kind of things. It can just create all these weird little things happening. But once you start to become at peace with them and even express them in the context of that relationship, you'll be able to then be a team together. And it's the same thing with a career. If you go for a career and you're going into like a leadership role, you really want it, but obviously with great, With great, what's the suit? I don't know, Spider-Man quote. I don't know. I'm not a superhero person. But with great responsibility comes, something creates greater responsibility. Same thing in other words, leadership roles. There's lots more pressure, lots more management, and you got to come across a certain way, you got to speak in a certain way, and there's a lot of downsides at an unconscious level. You might be okay with them, but then you start to kind of deal with them and go, even though all these pressures, even though there's more tax, I'm at peace with it. And that changes everything. So I didn't add that in the reflection because it's got to be short, but just so while you're here, be at peace. Either mitigate, solve, or be at peace. So that was the third one down. We've recorded Stoicism for anxiety, the acorn tree around purpose, and also for self-sabotage. Nice. Well, because we can have choice to stop as well, but if you feel like, yeah, I really wanted to be a rock star, and I still do, then you kind of come up with what are the downsides? For every outcome, there will be a downside. You might be like, I want to win the lottery, and then just think all the people who could start wanting that money. Hey Alyssa, great to have you back. Welcome. So for people joining, there's a random live stream. My music's gone and stopped, so let's get it back. And I'm recording these little 5-10 minute segments because it's going to be in my app, They're called reflections. And I'm doing this between every one I'm recording in case people are new here. So there's what the app will roughly look like. There's my original design. And at the bottom, we've got hypnotic meditations, which I've been recording, but not letting people know that it'll be in this section. So that means we've got a ton. We've got like 40, 50 or so to put in. But also we've got reflections, which are going to be 5 to 10 minute audios. Bite-sized content that you can digest whenever you want, on the go. And I've recorded quite a few. I was live on Saturday and Sunday for about an hour and a half. I've been live for about 50 minutes now. What one should I do? Oh, did we do the... We did a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna make it now. I want to do this one as well. It's very short but very cool, around gratitude. Because that's going to also lead into the next one, which will be the power of now. How to be like Eckhart Tolle. Have you ever listened to his audio books? He speaks a little bit like this sometimes. That's a bad impression, but that's all I got. But when I read The Power of Now, I thought it was great, but how can we improve it? So maybe we'll do that one next. Maybe we'll do that one next. Or was that for my impression? No offense, Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle. I always forget which pronunciation is right. 'Cause it's good. As in his content. I'm not ready one for impressions. Okay. It tends to be like, when people do impressions, when they don't think about it, they're a lot better, but when they start to get conscious of it, they're really, really not that good. So I'm not going to think about it and not do it. So should we get into another one? The power of now, and then we'll probably do gratitude, because that follows on. We're on a certain theme from one thing to another. The Stoicism with anxiety was very similar to the self-sabotage. So now we'll move into power of now to then move into gratitude. So as always, we need a 20-second break of silence, so do not say anything. If I hear you speak, it will ruin the recording. I will not know where to edit, so do not say anything, please.
Because that wouldn't be very nice. So stop it. Don't say anything.
Hey my friend, welcome back to another reflection, and today we're talking about the power of now, living in the moment. So I remember reading the Eckhart Tolle book. I think it was called The Power of Now. And I thought it was really fabulous. I had the book, listened to the audio book as well. And despite it being really, really good, I felt there must be a way of how we can do it in a practical way that will allow us to be in the now. And I decided to create a 3-step process of how you can live in the now. Now, of course, I've got a hypnosis session of living in the now, so that might help you. really, really quickly in being more present in your life. But what are the practical steps that you can start to apply initially, which will not only allow you to live in the now, but also pre-teach your unconscious mind and learn and integrate for a deep transformation? I think that's pretty exciting. So there are 3 steps, and we're going to go all out of order so it makes sense. So the very first step that we do is in the morning, you spend 5 to 10 minutes creating your day. In other words, you begin to imagine how you would like your day to go. What this is doing is called, what I would call it, reverse anxiety. Anxiety, which takes us out of the now, is future-based negative thinking. So it takes us out the present moment because we're just thinking about all the things which could happen in the future in a negative way. But as soon as we wake up in the morning and we start to imagine and hallucinate as much as possible of how you would like your day to go, and as a quick tip, imagine seeing yourself go through the process. So you're observing another you, because that is a dissociation. Looking through your own eyes has feelings. If you see and observe yourself, you're dissociated, and it will diminish any of those future-based anxiety thoughts. So you go ahead and just create your day, 5-10 minutes. It can even be shorter than that if you want. And if you want help within the app, go to the Create Days. That's what they're there for, to help you create the day the way you want. So I'm guiding you through the day on all these different subjects. But if not, do it by yourself, 5-10 minutes of just hallucinating your day. That takes care of the future negative thinking, which is half the battle of in the present. Because in that mindset, we were like out of the now, thinking about the future in a negative way. Now we've created our day so we don't have to think about it. So we're pulled that bit more into the now. And now we're going to jump over the second step into the third step, which is at the end of your day. At the end of your day, before you listen to one of my sleep hypnosis sessions, because that's an important part of it, you can listen to any track that you want as you go to sleep and transform while you sleep. But the thing you can do for 60 seconds up to a few minutes is to reflect on your day from 2 angles. Number 1, what can you learn from your day? What can you learn? And here's what I ask myself. Speaking to my unconscious mind, what can I learn from my day which will allow me to be safer and better tomorrow? Speaking to my unconscious mind, what can I learn from my day which will allow me to be safer and better tomorrow? You see, when you do this, you are learning from your past day. And just like the beginning of our day, that future negative thinking of anxiety, but we take care of it by creating it, at the end of our day, we're doing the reverse process of past-based negative thinking. You see, our past has had all that significant emotional events, all the things where we've been wronged or the situations which didn't work out. Well, now we're doing it differently. We're taking care of the past by learning from the past. And we're doing it in this bite-sized way, not for the whole of your life, but simply for your day. But there's also something else. Very briefly, you just focus on what you did good. Don't worry about anything you did bad or what we failed at, so-called failure anyway. Focus on what you did good, even as just one thing to be proud of, that you're thankful for, that you achieved this small thing, or you did this one thing that you even impressed yourself. And the reason why we do this, we learn from our day and then focus on what we did is good. You're sending a signal to your unconscious mind to look for more things that is good. If you look for what you did that is bad, it will try to look for more that was bad. But if you look for what is good, your unconscious mind looks for what is good. This is actually from a study, actually modeling dolphins and teaching them tricks. They began to just reward them for these good things, and they suddenly started doing all manner of tricks in every single way. So this is based on biology in many, many ways. So you focus on what is good, and therefore your unconscious mind will seek for more what is good, not only throughout your day, but it will also look to improve upon what you did good tomorrow. So not only did we learn and digest and resolve and preserve for safety, we're focusing on what is good, and it will look for more, not just in the day, but for the very future days ahead as well. So now we've taken care of the future-based negative thinking and the negative past-based thinking by creating our day and learning from our day. This leads to the second step, because we did jump. So we got the morning, we got the evening. What do we do throughout the day just for a minute or so? You go ahead and stop. You become aware of your environment. So if you're listening to this right now, which you are, of course, I want you to notice in your awareness the closeness to the things that are in your awareness. So for me, I've got my mic in front of me. I got my monitors. I got my audio stuff. I got my water. So I want you just to become aware of your environment. That's the step, because we are living in a fast-paced environment, so we've got to be conscious of it. And as we start to become conscious of our environment, we then bring that attention slowly on the inside. So you're being aware of what's in your environment, the sounds, and then you start to become aware of your body. Then you start to become how you're positioned. You start to become aware of your breath. You get to be a part of and become aware of your thoughts. And you just start to be present. You slow things down. It's tricky in the beginning, but you allow things just to slow down into this present moment. And if you do that, maybe on a break, a lunchtime, after work, just 2-3 times per day, once again, you're pre-teaching your unconscious mind to stop, to be present from the outside to the inside. So that means we have taken care, and it will allow us to be in the moment, because we've taken care of the future negative-based thinking, the past-based negative thinking, and also taught ourselves that we can stop in a very short period of time to be present and mindful. And the more that we do that, your unconscious mind will do it on your behalf. So that is my 3 steps for living in the now. It is powerful because you're learning, you're growing, you're creating and seeking more of the now while transforming. I look forward to speaking to you in a future reflection. Many thanks and goodbye. Okay, that's another one down. The power of now. The 3-step process. And I created that process. Unless someone created before me, which I didn't know about, but I definitely created that. It just works. And I've got longer episodes on all of these things, but once again, these are bite-sized 5-10 minute audios, which is going to be in the app on a new section called Reflection. So just 5-10 minute audios you can stop, digest, and apply into your day. So far we've done 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next one we said it was gratitude, which may be the last one of my evening, because it's coming up to 5, well, it's just gone 5 p.m. where I am. And I got my actual work to do rather than the app content. I found a funny comment on a YouTube video the other day, by the way. It was really funny. I don't quite know, because I try to reply to messages or like comments, but but I get a lot of them. And like even like the app reviews, I try to reply to them now, but I know it sounds bad. I'm not trying to be bad. But someone sent, and I won't do the title because I don't want people to reply to it personally or like attack the person because it's their opinion. But does this one mean, are they telling me to remove a track, like remove Too Fast? Like, is that what they're trying to tell me? To remove my track because it's too fast? Because I know if that's the case, they've left out the O. But is that what it means? They want me to like delete my track? Because if they did, that would be a shame. Because I had to quickly look at this. I didn't actually realize this. That's how many views is taken. So 56,000 views, 51,000 and more of my usual videos, and almost 73,000 watch hours, which is crazy to think about. And they want me to, I don't know if I might be wrong. Can I get 2 images on here? Look at that. So should I delete that video? Is that what they mean to remove the video because I'm speaking too fast? And by the way, sometimes when I've said, they've actually had the setting at like 1.25 by mistake. So my voice is fast, but only because they sped up on the player. Anyway, I found that interesting. I don't know what that means. Remove too fast. Does that mean remove my video? Because I didn't say it too fast in the audio. So not to remove the words too fast. Anyway, I found that funny if it was the case. Remember, that was the other example I could have said about the whole being at peace with things of the self-sabotage. Because as I put my work out there and it gets more, I'm getting really good reviews back, but the more people see it, it's just maths. We say maths in England for people in America. It's math. I say both, depending where I am. Or when I forget who I am as well. But if you're going to get more views, you're going to get more hate or dislike from people. So I could have used that as an example. Yeah, some can be just to be mean. It could be just because they dislike as well, which I'm at peace with. That's why I don't really care about video. I mean, if they don't like my work, why should I be upset if they genuinely don't like it? I think they could express it differently. I think because words doesn't have intention, or sorry, tone, so we don't understand the true intention. Oh, there's such a great clip I wish I could play about that. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna bring it onto my teachings. I'm gonna try and find it. I don't know how to search for it, but it's so good about how tone and intention. It's is it Keenan and Peele? Texting. So, Key and Peele, I got that wrong. So, if you ever type it key, as in like a door key, and Peele, but P-E-E-L-E, and then text messaging confusion, it is so funny. I'm going to bring it onto when I teach people about rapport and how words have meaning. That's why like texting and emails is crazy. Yeah, it is so funny. Because on the one side, someone's like, yeah, let's hang out. but the way they were replying had a different intention. Exactly. It's gonna happen. Thank you, Cheryl, for the $1.49 purple cat. That's all I see. So I need to look at my stream to see the purple cat. Oh, it's not even a purple cat. On this, it says purple cat, but it looks like Mr. C, the Cuddles. Mr. Cuddles. Or I've always had the intention, I always say like, thank you, please. Because when they take over the world, I want them to go back in the backlogs and remember how kind I was. So I always try to be nice to the words I will not say on LAN, because it might set all yours up. Oh, and thank you once again, Cheryl, for your kind super chat. Very, very kind. I can't use my other screen because I'm in the void. But thank you so much. But yeah. Negative comments is fine. It's hard not to take them personally sometimes, like initially, because you're like, why would you do that? But then you become more stoic and go, maybe it means I'm provoking something within them which will hopefully help them one day. And that is why I am so grateful, which is a perfect segue into the next audio on gratitude. And this will probably be the last one of the evening, because it's coming out to my 5:15 p.m. now. And I've got work to do, and I gotta eat. I gotta end my day. Yep, so 20 seconds, not 20, around 20 seconds of silence while I hydrate, and it allows me to edit easier because it's just silence. Enjoy the silence. Or you'll hear the music, but silence for me. Hey, my friend Joseph here, and in today's reflection, we're talking about gratitude and how you can begin to feel it incredibly quick, which will in turn allow you to attract your goals and dreams through gratitude, which is pretty awesome to me. So 3 steps to having gratitude while simultaneously being aligned with your goals and dreams to make it a reality. And you have to do them in this specific order for the best results. Because if you skip to the last one, you probably won't have enough foundation to really make it work and believe in it. So the first step is to have gratitude for what you have in your life. That's all the go-to one, right? That's what people say. Have gratitude for what you have. And we can also say who you have in your life. We can include people, in other words. So it can be things, it can be people. Like right now, I'm so grateful I have the opportunity to speak into this mic, which is getting recorded onto my system, which is going to go out into the app. Like, I'm really grateful that technology is allowing me to help people. I'm also grateful while I'm doing this, I have a roof over my equipment. That's pretty helpful. I'm also grateful for the clothes I have, the food I have, electricity that I have. I'm very grateful for my family and the people in my life who I love. I'm incredibly grateful for my pets. I'm so grateful for where I live in my environment. So just consider all the things you're grateful for, what you have and who you have in your life. It's really important because it's the easiest thing you can be grateful for, because the next ones will build momentum and they're a little bit trickier, but it's like the foundation, it's the gateway to real gratitude. So let's just say you have the gratitude, number one, for what you have and who you have. Well, the next step for ultimate gratitude is to have now gratitude for who you are. And that is the qualities of you. The gratitude for your values, your principles, the aspects of you that you don't always praise, you don't even want to look at times. Like I said, it's a little bit trickier, but that's so important. To make it easier, there's two ways. Have gratitude for your body, for the things that it does, your heart, your lungs, your limbs, your brain. That's pretty simple, rather a characteristic trait. So that could be a little gateway for you. But have that gratitude for who you are, because that builds identity of real inner fulfillment, which is going to help with the third one. So have the gratitude. Now, I would like you to write these out if possible, because that means it gets easier each time. You don't have to keep thinking of them again. You just write out all your qualities, all your traits, all the things that make you a good, wholesome person. If you need one, you're listening to this, and that means you want to love and grow and become more grateful, which is a beautiful quality to have in someone. Like someone who wants to further themselves is their greatest gift to themselves. So put that one down on the list for yourself. So have that gratitude for for who you are. If you're really struggling though, maybe look through the eyes of a friend who really likes you, who sees the things you don't see. And just imagine it. If you were to look through the eyes of love for you, so it could be a friend, it could be a partner, it could be a sibling, it could be a mother, it could be a child. All of those things, look through the eyes. And if you're really struggling with that, and maybe you have a pet, look through the eyes of your pet, that unconditional love that you take care of them and you do all these wonderful things. That's going to help you. Sometimes the dissociation of looking through other people's eyes is a gateway, once again, to seeing who you really are, because it's very hard to see ourselves in good light if we're experiencing some issues on our emotional and psychological level. But if you write them down once again, and even the first one you write down, it gets easier to get back to them, because you just look at them, you go, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. So now we're building momentum. And the last one we do is to be grateful for what is heading your way. That is where the power of manifestation, the power of alignment to your goals, where because we've got the foundation of, yeah, this is what I have and who I have, and this is who I am, now because you're bringing that gratitude in, now you're like, I'm so grateful for all the good that is coming my way today in known and unknown ways, in seen and unseen ways. I'm so excited to figure it out, to find out, to be surprised of all that is good that is working for me. That the universe or God or whatever your belief is, whatever your higher truth is, I'm just so immensely grateful, full of gratitude and excitement and curiosity of all that is good that is heading my way, and I cannot wait to receive it with open arms. I'm just excited. That's the energy that you have into it. And having the what you have, who you have, and who you are allows you to get into that step. Does that make sense? So now we're having a real deep gratitude for our future, for all the good that is coming our way. Those 3 steps to gratitude will guarantee an absolute game changer for your day, especially if you do it in the morning. And you can, if you write these things down, the very first and second one, because the future one You could write down like, I'm so grateful for having a great work day. I'm so grateful. You can be specific there as well. But if you write down the what and the who, and then who you are and your qualities, that gives that foundation for receiving in the future. Because if you don't have that, if you went straight to that one and at the end point, you won't be in a good place. You'll be like, I don't know, I haven't got much qualities about myself. I don't feel good enough. I haven't really thought about all the things I have in my life. So those first and second steps leads into receiving the transformation and the things that you want in the future. So go ahead and do that. Have the gratitude for what, for who you have in life, for who you are, and what is heading your way. I look forward to speaking to you on a future reflection. And remember, there's lots of gratitude hypnosis sessions and sleep ones as well. And they'll got all the Create Your Days to help you be so grateful in the Create Your Day section. So I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks and goodbye. Okay, that was another one down. I hope you enjoyed it. That you're grateful for all that you have and who you have in your life, for who you are. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Look at this. Alyssa. I have gratitude for who and what you have now. Number 2, have the gratitude for who you are with love. Number 3, have the gratitude for what is heading your way. That's perfect. And I hope you kind of get, as in everyone, that if you do start number 3, the gratitude for what is heading your way, we're probably in a state of scarcity and doubt. So those step 1 and 2 leads into that. That's what I find anyway. I feel like the foundations and the what you have and who you have, that's like an easy one, because you can go, yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for your kind comment. So gratitude, you can give gratitude. So thank you, Alyssa. But it's easier to get that gratitude. And you can also listen to music at the same time as well. That always helps. Using different modalities. Like I said, I can't put all of these different side things as for longer episodes, but like having music that inspires you. Like there's some music I listen to if I want to just kind of get myself in like a good workout mode, or a hike, or in the car, or if I want to get psyched up for a talk that I'm about to take. Now you can use the different modalities for gratitude, music being the easiest one to gravitate to. But other ones could be like, if you want just a general wholesome experience, be like movies. Like I love the movie Walter Mitty. That always kind of gets me energetically like grateful, because I like the hero's journey aspect to it. Or those kind of inspirational movies, or the biography movies, or good biographies. So you can use different elements and modalities to change your gratitude state as well. "83 minutes. We've been streaming for 83 minutes, and it's come out to 5:30. So I've definitely have to get going. Thank you, Alyssa. That's very, very kind. Oh, Mary. I'm live right now. I'm in the void, but I am alive. Alive. And alive. But I'm about to finish. I've been streaming for 83 minutes, and I go probably live on Mondays and Fridays, but I went live for an hour and a half on Sunday, about an hour and a bit on Saturday, just doing these recordings, and 84 minutes tonight. But yeah, I am about to finish. I know. I'm alive. I'm alive and alive. In the void. And help. Oh my goodness.
Help. I forgot to press the button. Help, I'm in the void. Yeah, you missed it. Mary, you missed it. And I'm in the void. It did fly by. And you have a good but I'm stuck in the void. So that. But I must exit the void. Somehow. And I think I can only do that by stopping the stream. My consciousness will be transported to San Diego. If not, I'm stuck forever in the void. Help. Oh dear, he's stuck.
So yes, I need to get out of the void, and I realize the only way to do it is to close down the stream, and then I can get back to my normal reality. So thank you for joining me on this random stream. I know they are random because they're random. I go live when I want to go live when I need to do these. But it's better than not going live, because I could do all these audios in half a time if I wasn't streaming, but it's nice to chat and go live because I'm alive. But we did good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've still got the failure one, the split of energy, compound interest, the belief is the enemy of knowing, unconscious depths of learning, the I am broken myth. I kind of want to do that one tonight, but oh well, and much more. I'm sure you get a lot this time of year. Well, the Halloween ones, they're meant to be so lucrative as a business model. Take over a vacant store. They make tons of money. They're one of, I think when I read about it years ago, they're one of the most lucrative business models. Because they get the rent cheap. What's the, is it called Halloween or is it called something else? But they get the rent cheap because it's vacant. And then they just go and sell everything. But yeah, be sure to be subscribed. And that means, and click the bell and things, and you'll be notified that bit more. Hopefully YouTube will send a little message and go, hey, in the void stream just started. Yeah, I've never been in one. I just heard and read, and then I researched a little bit. Based on memory, I might be wrong. But yeah, they're meant to be very lucrative, despite only being open for about a month or less. Then it makes you wonder what you could do with these vacant stores, because there's going to be many more to come. Have you ever been into a mall? There's some malls which are actually, I'm meant to be going, so I'm meant to be stopping the stream, but I was watching a good documentary, once again a few years ago, of a mall which was kind of closing down, but they actually had let a church go into the mall, And I found that really interesting that they were able to keep the mall open because they allowed the church in there, so like one of the big department kind of things. And I found that interesting anyway, but like the reutilization of a space for a community, even if you're not religious, you gotta think that's kind of a cool idea. Yeah, it was a really cool program. I can't remember what it was called. It was like Abandoned something, and it was this guy traveling. I think it was on Vice, maybe, or not. I'm not sure. And he'd go all these abandoned buildings and parks and cities and see what's going on there. And that was kind of one of the episodes. Like old towns, old fishing towns, or old what would you call mining towns? Yes, they're still around. I don't know how many people go to them. I know I have not been to one for years. That's where they make money. There is the Christmas stores as well, yeah. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. In England, we don't really have malls. In Cambridge, we had a kind of mall. Well, we do have a kind of a mall, but it's just like really central. It's like in the center of Cambridge. But very different from American malls, and definitely the malls of the 80s. That's cool. Yeah, it's so cool when the nature. Have you ever seen the buildings where like nature has been or has reclaimed the building, and like a tree grows right in the middle? I think one a program I was watching as well, that was happening in some of the old abandoned. It was either it'd either be like to Detroit or somewhere like that, or like Michigan, when the cars manufacture plants kind of all went down. Some of these houses got like overtaken because they were left, and then nature just reclaimed them. So it's fascinating stuff. Okay, I said I was going like 10 minutes ago. And now we're on... Yeah, so... There's a... Oh, sorry. This one. There's one on the way to Vegas from... well, coming from California, going up to Nevada. There's an abandoned one off the road in the middle of nowhere. And I think that person I mentioned in the documentary actually went to that one. And I guess there's a lot of those, speaking of Nevada, who were testing. I was actually listening to a good podcast day before yesterday about the effects of the nuclear areas and the wind pushing the effects outwards. Truth, troublemaker. Yeah. I mean, it's just like those old mining towns. There's a mining town on the way to Vegas once again. I can't remember what it's called. But it was really cool to see because there's like a sunset when I used to go there. And like deep red sunset. I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called. It'll come back to me. Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah. But it's all history. Just think of all the buildings. Like if you think of Vegas, I know on a Vegas thing there, they just dropped another building recently. Not that long, and I wouldn't want to stay there for a long time because of the heat and then the cold. I've been in the desert when it snowed, and it's been really, really freezing. Because they were running a marathon, like a relay marathon, and I was helping, like driving the person to the next stop and so on like that. And that was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It was ridiculous. But then obviously just driving through the desert, on the road, not the literal desert, but it's still a desert. But yeah, you don't want to go in those deserts in the sun. It won't take long. I can see almost what the name is. Exactly. Best time for it. In the dark, in the desert, driving, listening to Art Bell. That's the perfect way to drive in the desert. It was very good. If you're interested for nostalgia, if you just go to like Spotify or your podcast and just type in Art Bell, they've pretty much got 2 main places, 2 channels that have every, if not most, of the episodes available. So you can listen to them. I like the nostalgia. That word. Okay, everybody. It's time to stop. I know, it's all good. If I type out comments, my phone just sends them before I finish them on YouTube anyway, so I get it. So, thank you all for being here. You never know when I'll be back. I've actually got a hypnosis session video, sleep one, coming out in about 1 hour and 20 minutes. 7 p.m. Pacific, in other words. So watch out for that. Be sure to leave a comment, like, when it gets released so we can put it out into the algorithm. And I might be back here again maybe at the weekend. Maybe tomorrow, who knows. Depends how I feel. For another In the Void stream. So thank you very much, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Many thanks, and goodbye.